Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this wonderful day where we're here to celebrate a great love story today. We're here to celebrate the love story that has been shared between Charis and Amos. Now, of course, we all know that love stories are great stories, and after everything that we've been going through for the last little while, I'm sure that you guys can all agree with me that Charis and Amos pretty well know that theirs is the best one around. So I'm inviting you to join in their ceremony of love today with open hearts and open eyes, and not so much your camera lenses. Yes, you can sneak a few photographs during the ceremony, but I'm going to ask your cooperation to not interfere with the professional photographers and videographers that have been hired to capture their special moment. But as you are the VIP guests for this portion of the ceremony, we have other guests that are seated in another room that want to be able to see all of your lovely faces at the wedding. Well, let's change that to all of your masked faces at the ceremony. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you are holding that electronic device in your hand, can you turn up the volume really nice and loud so if it does ring during the ceremony, our bride and groom will know exactly who to ask to leave. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and enjoy the ceremony.
Nothing prepared me for what the privilege of being yours would do. If I had only felt the warmth within your touch, if I had only seen how you smile when you blush, or how you curl your lip when you concentrate enough, well, I would have known what I was living for all along. But I've been living your love is my turning page. Only the sweetest words remain.
And ladies and gentlemen, you may take your seats. Well, dear family and friends, Charis and Amos are thrilled that you are here today to celebrate this important milestone moment in their lives, their wedding day. Now, this is much more than a social and civil occasion because it's the declaration of their hearts, built upon experience and enriched by their love for each other. In the book of Matthew, it is written, again, I say to you, if two of you agree on earth about anything I ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where two or three are gathered in my name, I am among them. Well, on behalf of Charis and Amos, I welcome you all and I thank you all for being here. They are delighted that you are here today to share in their joy during this wonderful moment in their lives. By your presence, you all celebrate with them the love that they have discovered in each other. And together we are supporting their decision to commit themselves to one another for the rest of their lives. Now, many of you may or may not remember how it is that Charis and Amos came to meet. Well, let me take you back to the beginning. After all, it was about 10 years ago. They first met in what they would consider an older and more traditional way. In other words, they didn't need the help of Internet Cupid. They met while Charis's family were searching for a new church family. While attending a Sunday service, Charis's eye wandered to a young man who appeared to be a little less polished than most of the congregants. Amos was dressed in his more comfortable attire. Yes, he was wearing ripped jeans and his wallet was secured to his belt with a chain. And this, dear friends, is how Charis, the quiet teacher's pet, came to meet her schoolmate Amos, the boy sleeping in the back row of the classroom. They discovered a mutual interest in each other, and they soon began dating. They discovered that they loved each other's energy, that it was something real, it was something smart. And they knew that they were in this for the right reasons. The love that they had for each other was genuine, and it just made them feel happy as they developed a great and amazing friendship. This friendship became the foundation of the relationship that unites us here together today as Charis and Amos come before us to share their love. But more importantly, they're asking us all to unite them together in marriage. This marriage is a serious covenant made before God and before all of us as witnesses, an acknowledgement of its holy purpose. And for the power of this occasion, let us pray. God of love, who gives us the longing for and the capability of loving, we give you thanks for Charis and Amos, for their open hearts and willing spirits, and for the example of love that they embody here in our presence. Be with them on this joyous occasion of showing their love and making their vows. And be with us, their witnesses, that we may all be changed by what is said and witnessed here today. As joyous as today is, we must also be solemn for those members of the family and friends who could not be here to bear witness to this love. Some could not make the journey to join us here, but their well wishes have traveled the globe to offer their love and support to our happy couple. Others who have passed have left a mark on us with their influence, love, and care, and we know that their spirits are here with us today. Charis and Amos wish to let you know, their parents, how much you mean to them and how important you have been to them from the very beginning. As you have watched and guided them and encouraged them to be the great people that they are today, so too were you there when they found each other. Today, you're witnessing another stage in the lives of your son and your daughter. Your continuing support and encouragement will be needed as they unite together in marriage. Now, they're going to explore some new directions, but Mom and Dad, I assure you that when we had our conversation about the ceremony, they did entrust in me that they will be keeping those tried and tested lessons from earlier years. But they would like to take this moment in their ceremony to acknowledge you for all of that love and support. And they look forward to that continued support of their marriage with all of your love, your guidance, and your wisdom. Now, to list everything that they're grateful for would make this ceremony an eternity, and we don't want that today. But they do hope that the following words will suffice. On behalf of Charis and Amos, I say thank you. You can turn and face each other. Well, Charis and Amos, we finally get to you guys. After all, this is your wedding day, you know. But I think you've already learned that your marriage started well before today. And the efforts of marriage, they're going to continue well beyond this ceremony's end. It's a brief moment in time and the stroke of a pen that are required to create the legal bond of marriage. But it takes a lifetime of love, commitment, compromise, something I discovered very quickly in chatting with you, and I think this bridal party here will attest to as well, is the friendship that you share with each other that will make your marriage rich, durable, and everlasting. Now, today, as you join yourselves in marriage, there's still a vast and unknown future stretching out before you. You started your day today as individuals. You finish it tonight as husband and wife. Oh, you like that title. Feels good, eh? You'll be blending your lives, expanding your family ties, and embarking on one of the greatest adventures of human interaction. So the next chapter of this story of your lives together, it's yours to write. So may you always be able to talk things over, confide in each other, laugh with each other, enjoy life together. Yeah, and don't forget, you have to share those moments of quiet and peace when the day is done. Now, may you grow and nurture that love that make you both better people. A love which will encourage you to follow your dreams and to nurture your gifts. And a love which will give you a great joy and a passion for living as you share this inspiring love with the family and friends who've gathered with you here today. Now, of course, in 10 years of building a relationship and going through university studies and career changes and everything, I think you've learned the path of love wasn't always easy. But it was, in those ups and downs, in those times of trouble and need, that together you already formed a bond, strong enough to withstand whatever the road ahead is going to bring you. Love is knowing when it's time to lead and when it's time to follow. But today is about the two of you choosing to walk through life side by side. Well, as I said, today you begin a new journey. From your whole and independent souls, you now come before your family and friends to be joined into a whole new married relationship. Now, indeed, this is a day in which Charis and Amos will demonstrate their commitment to devotion and mutual respect, as well as their faith to love one another. So I have a few questions, and I think we'll start with you, Amos. Amos Lim, in the presence of God, your family and friends, do you pledge to be a faithful and loving husband to Charis from this day forward? Do you want to share your life for today, tomorrow, and forever? Do you promise to love and to respect her, to be honest with her always, and to stand by her through whatever may come? Do you promise to treasure for all your days the love you're celebrating today? If so, say I do.
I do.
Good job. And Charis, in the presence of God, your family and friends, do you pledge to be a faithful and loving wife to Amos from this day forward? Do you want to share your life for today, tomorrow, and forever? Do you promise to love and to respect him, to be honest with him always, and to stand by him through whatever may come? And also, do you pledge to promise to treasure for all of your days the love you're celebrating today? If so, say I do.
I do.
Now, a wedding is never solely about the two individuals who are joining their lives together today, but it includes everyone who's played a role in the journey, which have led Charis and Amos to this wonderful adventure in their lives. So each and every one of you here present today have been invited because you're a special person in their lives. You have come to rejoice with them, to hear their vows, their hopes, their plans, and to extend some good wishes. Part of being at a wedding ceremony is to be reminded of the love and the commitments that you have made a part of your own lives. So I'm going to ask you, the guests who have gathered with us today, as well as the guests who are over in Studio One, so that we're just down the hall from you, I'm going to ask you all, will you do all in your power to support these two in the marriage they are about to undertake? Okay, we're going to have to make this a little louder because we didn't hear Studio One, and I think Studio One might build out this group. So, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, a little more enthusiasm for our bride and groom. 1, 2, 3. That's better, right? Well, over the years, Charis and Amos have sailed over many hurdles. They have also tripped on a few, and they've enjoyed many great adventures together. The following reading is the most important lesson about marriage as well as love. And I'd like to share with you Union by Robert Fulghum. You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making promises and agreements in an informal way. All those conversations that were held riding in a car or over a meal or during long walks. All those sentences that began with, when we're married, and continued with, I will, and you will, and we will. Those late night talks that included someday and somehow and maybe. All those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you are about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things that we've promised and hoped and dreamed? Well, I meant it all. Every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another. Acquaintance, a friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, and even teacher, for you have learned much from one another in the last few years. Now you shall say a few words that will take you across a threshold of life, and things will never quite be the same between you. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife. Well, Charis and Amos, if you are free and willing to be married, please demonstrate that desire to myself and your witnesses by keeping your hands joined. You who are gathered here as witnesses are called to continue that encouragement and support that will be needed for them as they unite together in marriage. Now, I'm going to remind you that saying your vows is one thing, but there's nothing more challenging than living them day by day. What you promise today must be renewed tomorrow and each day that stretches out before you. And at this time, I was asking who was going to be the brave one going first, and Charis already set up and said, Amos is. Because at this time, they're actually going to share with each other their own personal vows that they have taken the time to script.
Charis, you are the smartest, most beautiful and caring person that I know. And based on how much time I spent writing these vows, I think it's clear how difficult it is for me to express how happy I am that you've chosen to spend the rest of your life with me. Looking back, our journey together started over a decade ago when you sent me that first text message, and I didn't even know that it was you texting me. Just 6 months later, I knew there was something more to our friendship. So I took you out on our first date to the best restaurant a high school kid could afford, Tim Hortons. From humble beginnings, we've grown together over the past 10 years, experiencing the lowest of lows and the highest of highs. From the struggles of living in different cities and the stress of higher education, to the excitement of traveling the world together and you adding the letters D and R to the beginning of your name. And despite everything we've been through, It never ceases to amaze me how lucky I am to be with someone so smart, mature, responsible, and more importantly, patient to put up with someone as stubborn as me. I love you because I know you'll always be there to support me, motivate me, and challenge me to be the best version of myself. You are my best friend, my favorite person, and I promise to love you forever, no matter what life throws at you. As a doctor, you spend all day thinking of others, but not yourself. So I promise to always think of you and remind you to eat and drink water, which we did not do today. I'm apparently also very talented at wasting electricity, so I promise to turn off every light before leaving the room, even if I plan on coming back in 1 minute. I promise to remind you that eating instant noodles 3 times a day is not healthy, because I want us to live a long and happy life. I promise to get better at putting the kitchen sink faucet back, because I know you hate seeing it dangling. I promise to give you back massages and cuddles as long as my arms are functional. I promise to use toothpaste tubes like a normal human being and roll it up from the end and not the middle. I promise to love you even more than you love bubble tea. I promise to support you, respect you, and be there for you when you need someone by your side. And I promise to be the best husband I can, and one day, when we start a family, I promise to be the best father I can be, because I know you'll be the best mother in the world. Charis, today I become your husband, but I will forever be your Amos.
Should have went first now, eh?
How do I follow that?
I read. You can. I'll hold this for you.
Not this now. Amos, 10 years ago when we met as awkward 15-year-olds, nobody could have guessed that we would be here today. You are one of the most hardworking, loyal, honest people that I know. When I look at you now, I not only see the man that you've become, but also I see that 15-year-old boy who bought me a necklace with the lunch money he had saved up. I remember how upset you were when you gave it to me, because, in your words, they're not real diamonds. My answer back then is still as true today as it was back then. We've never needed fancy clothes or nice cars. We've lived in some pretty terrible basement apartments, and yet those were some of the happiest years of our lives. You've been there for me through some of the best days and some of the worst days of my life, and made the choice to stay when it would have been much easier to go. I will spend the rest of my life trying to give to you just a fraction of what you've given to me. So today, I make these promises to you. I promise to always wake you up in the morning with way too much energy. I promise to kiss you goodbye every morning before work. I promise to try not to steal all the covers at night. I promise never to stop having our middle-of-the-night dance parties in the kitchen. I promise to finally give you my secret meatloaf recipe. I promise to always have a stash of bubble tea ready to celebrate the good days or celebrate surviving the bad days. I promise to save all of my best stories for you when I get home. I promise to be your biggest cheerleader when you're up at 3 a.m. starting a PowerPoint that you procrastinated on. I promise to listen to you when you talk about your research, even when I have no clue what you're talking about. And I promise to treat your family as if they were my own. I promise to love you even when I don't like you very much, and to find new things to love about you every day. Amos, today I become your wife, but I will never stop being your best friend. Oh yeah, one more thing. P.S. I love you.
Now, a ring has been the symbol of marriage since ancient times, representing wholeness and perfection. The rings that you're about to give and receive today, they are symbols of your love, freely given, with neither a beginning nor an end. So may these tokens serve not to bind you to one another, but rather to remind you of the joy that you have found with one another and the future you see in each other's eyes. May I have the rings, please? You can pull them up. Drop them into your... Let's do this here. So if you want to just collect the rings, you're going to respect it. Well, Amos, since you went first with the vows, I have a very funny feeling that if we ask her, she's going to ask you to say yes to placing the ring on first, though. You want to take the ring, placing it on her left hand ring finger, nice and slow, so you can get some photos.
Charis, I give you this ring, that you may wear it as a symbol of the vows we have made to this day. I pledge you my love and respect, my laughter and my tears, with all that I am. I love you.
Amos, I give you this ring, that you may wear it as a symbol of the vows we have made this day. I pledge you my love and respect, my laughter and my tears, with all that I am. I love you.
Well, may these hands be held by one another. May they have the strength to hold on through the storms and the stresses of life, and the energy to play through the sunny days of joy. May they be tender and gentle as they nurture each other in love. And may these hands build a marriage founded in grace, rich in caring and reaching together to bring forth the very best in both. Now treat yourselves and each other with respect. Remind yourselves often of what brought you together. Give the highest priority to the tenderness, the gentleness, and the kindness that your partnership deserves. Now, as you already know, frustration, difficulty, and fear, they are going to try to assail your relationship, as they have threatened all relationships at one time or another. When that happens, focus on what is right between the two of you, not that small little part that seems wrong at the time. In this way, you can ride out the storms when the clouds hide the face of the sun in your lives, remembering that if you lose sight of it for only a moment, the sun is still there. And if each of you take responsibility for the quality of your lives together, there's a very good close group of people around you today that will pretty well guarantee you that it will always be marked by abundance and delight. Amos and Charis, we have heard your promise to share your lives in marriage. We recognize and respect the covenant of marriage that you have made here this day before each one of us as your witnesses. Therefore, in the honesty and the sincerity of what you have said and done here today, by the powers vested upon me by the province of Ontario, but I think more so by the power of love and friendship that we all know that exists between the two of you, it is now my honor, it is my delight to now declare that you are married and joined in matrimony as husband and wife. You may seal your vows with a kiss.
This summer, I knew it from the day I saw her. We were gonna be together. That's why I'm here to see her. She doesn't know I'm in Virginia, but I know she's mine forever. So I'm asking for your blessing, and maybe just one lesson. He said 27 years, and here's my takeaway. It's not just picture perfect dancing in a white dress. It's not just rainy days when nothing stops the fighting. It's not just highs and lows and champagne toasts. I've come to know that love's not only the best days or the worst days. Love is the Tuesdays. Yeah, love is the Tuesdays. It's breakfast thrown together while she's sleeping in your high school sweater, and you've never seen anything better. It's the season 3 you're watching. A little bit of evening walking, sitting with your best friend talking. Oh, it's not just picture perfect dancing in a white dress. It's not just rainy days when nothing stops the fighting. It's not just highs and lows and champagne toasts. I've come to know that love's not only the best days or the worst days. Love is the Tuesdays. Yeah, love is the Tuesdays. No, it's not Hollywood, son, 'cause troubles will come. But it's the best decision you're ever gonna make. And you've got my blessing. But just hear this lesson, 27 years and all I've gotta say is it's not just picture perfect dancing in a white dress. It's not just rainy days when nothing stops the fighting. It's not just highs and lows and champagne toasts. I've come to know that love's not only the best days or the worst days. Love is the Tuesdays. Yeah, love is the Tuesdays. Oh, love is the Tuesdays. This summer, I knew it from the day I saw her. We were gonna be together. That's why I'm here to see her. She doesn't know I'm in Virginia, but I know she's my forever. So I'm asking for your blessing. And maybe just one lesson. He said 27 years, and here's my takeaway. It's not just picture perfect dancing in a white dress. It's not just rainy days when nothing stops the fighting. It's not just highs and lows and champagne toasts. I've come to know that love's not only the best days or the worst days. Love is the Tuesdays.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, just following our ceremony, our bride and groom are going to be taking some social distancing congratulations, as well as the guests that are seated here in this studio. You're asked to remain here so that they can take a moment to enjoy this little reality that just happened in their lives. And then they'll be back to take some photos here with you, as well as we've got a little surprise for the guests in the other room for us. But ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be a great day to celebrate. Let us all celebrate as I have the great joy to be the first to introduce to you the reason for today's celebration, Amos and Charis as husband and wife.
Just standing there in that dress. What it's doing to me ain't a secret, 'cause watching you is all that I can do. And I'm speechless. You already know that you're my weakness. After all this time I'm just as nervous every time you walk into the room. I'm speechless.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Give Rob a big round of applause. How wonderful was that, right? That was absolutely beautiful. Excellent job. I also just I wanted to say thank you to all of you for being so patient. I actually also want to say hi to all our friends in Studio One. We got a surprise coming down for you guys over there. And we wanted to let you know that we're going to stay here for a bit. You are allowed to go to the washroom, though. Don't feel stressed out that you have to hold it in too much. And also, we are going to be speaking Siu Siu Chong Man Kaman, right? Just a little bit, Siu Siu. Who knows Cantonese on this side? Oh yes, your whole family. Yes. So if 如果我講得唔夠叻咧，你可以幫下我少少, okay? Whoever wants to help me out on this side. So I basically am explaining to them that my Cantonese is okay. My mom says it's poor, but I think it's okay. All right. So, but today it is a celebration. I'm so grateful that you guys are here. We're gonna play a little bit of music, and then Charis and Amos will be back, and then we'll have a couple activities for all of you. So I'm Anto. Nice to meet you guys, and I'm gonna be your MC for the rest of the evening. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you guys.
And I've been in a daze ever since the day that we met. You took the breath out of my lungs, can't even fight it. And all of the words out of my mouth without even trying. And I'm speechless, staring at you standing there in that dress. What it's doing to me ain't a secret, 'cause watching you is